So, John, if you were to remake your own Christmas Carol, which genre would you pick?
Gay porn?
Oh, God.
Oh, go on, like the gay of Christmas past, or the gay of porno past, the gay of porno present, the gay of porno yet to come.
Okay. Okay, who's playing all those three gays?
Good question.
Who is the gay of Christmas past?
Okay, the gay of Christmas past is obviously Ian McKellen, Sir Ian McKellen.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, who's the gay of Christmas present?
The gay of Christmas present would be Alan Carr.
Wait, are you just going by age here? Because I was thinking, like, who was gay back in the day? And then who's, like, the main gay now?
Who do you think is the main gay now?
RuPaul? What is RuPaul?
What do you mean, what is RuPaul? What is RuPaul? Wow, Harry. No, actually, RuPaul would be good.
Okay.
Yeah, the gay of Christmas present could be RuPaul.
And then
he's always got something to flog. He's very commercial.
And then the gay of Christmas future has got to be somebody who's currently in the closet.
Oh, sure, yeah, okay. So that's got to be Tom Holland then. Tom Hollander, little Spider-Man.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, bless him.
Yeah.
I see you, Tom Hollander, allegedly.
You know his surname's Holland, right?
I get them mixed up. There's also an actor called Tom Holland. Is it Tom Holland?
Yeah.
Okay, I see you, Tom Holland, allegedly.
Some films are fine just the way they are. Other films sometimes take it way too far. But really, how bad could it get? Let's go beyond the box set.
Welcome everybody to the final episode of Beyond the Box Set of 2018.
Thank God for those last two words there. I thought you were going to drop a bombshell on me.
You heard it here first, folks.
It's over.
Yeah. So this is a podcast where we pitch prequels, sequels and spin-offs to films that don't have any, and we're doing a crossover today as it is our final Christmas episode as well of our season. So I'm Harry, joining me as always is John.
Hello.
And Russ.
Hello.
Not joining me as always. Joining me as sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Crossing over with Two Geeks, Two Movies. I didn't say that.
Yes. Co-host of Two Geeks, Two Movies and our most persistent repeat guest.
Yes, this is right.
Our most consistently available guest.
Fourth, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, because I have no life except movies and recording my opinions about movies.
Great.
Pretty much. Yeah. This is the second part of a crossover that in our recording part of the evening. What?
This is part two of a special crossover between Two Geeks, Two Movies and Beyond the Box Set, in which we are discussing various iterations of the classic Christmas tale, A Christmas Carol.
So on Two Geeks, Two Movies, we just did the 1951 version of Scrooge, or A Christmas Carol, depending on which country you're in.
Yep.
And then we talked about Scrooged, the Bill Murray film, which is what we're going to be doing here. And we also talked about The Muppets Christmas Carol. So do go to Two Geeks, Two Movies on iTunes or Stitch or whatever and look up that episode. There's some good times.
Yeah, we hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, we compare the movies. John tries to give a plot synopsis for all three at the same time, which actually works pretty well.
It was a pretty easy. Yeah. You lobbed me pretty low ball this week.
You pick easy episode. You picked the films.
I did,
and you did last time as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I've got a strategy. Yeah.
What? Just pick remakes.
Pick things that are the same.
Yes.
Yeah. You gave yourself a slight curve insofar as you couldn't use the name Ebenezer Scrooge.
That was pretty much the only difference.
That was the only problem, yeah.
Okay, so Scrooged, right.
Yes.
Bill Murray is great in this.
Yes.
Agree, disagree? No?
Mild disagreement.
Yeah?
Okay, so just for a bit of context, this is the first time you guys have ever seen this film, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not for me. As mentioned on Two Geeks, Two Movies, this is a film that I really loved when I was a kid. This is the first time I've watched it back since, for about maybe 15 years or something, in full. I've seen bits and pieces of it here and there, because it's always on TV at Christmas. And watching it back, I could definitely see why I liked it as a kid, because it has all of those things. I think it has a lot of things that appeal to a kid, because it's got like mild swearing and mild violence and, you know, slightly grotesque effects here and there. Like, it's very kid-friendly in that way, like, almost transgressive. It's like, I shouldn't be watching this, it's so naughty. But and yeah, so I had really fond memories of it, and yet watching it back today, especially in the context of the other two Christmas Carol movies we did, which is the 51 one and the Muppet Christmas Carol, I was surprised how much I thought it didn't work as a whole movie. And I do think Bill Murray is one of the things that doesn't work. I think his performance, for me, was not modulated enough. It was very one note. He just seemed angry and in a bad mood, which is what Bill Murray does very well in most of his good films. Like Groundhog Day is in a bad mood consistently. But I don't know, it just lacked something of it lacked heart. This movie has no heart. It tries to have a heart, but it fails to have a heart.
Right at the very end, it gets a bit desperate for heart.
Yeah.
Certainly. When he starts talking to the theatre, when he starts talking to the cinema goers, I think he broke the fourth wall there. That was weird. That could have been delivered. He was on camera at the time. That could have been delivered to the camera that he was on, in character still, but instead he delivers it to the theatre.
Yeah. The last...
That was
Well,
odd.
we'll probably get to it, but the last 15 minutes of this movie, I think, are insane, and not in a good way. Like, it's really bizarre. But I'm sure we'll get to that in a bit. So, but what did you guys think? So, you obviously liked Bill Murray. Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, but I've not seen many Bill Murray films, so anything that I see of his is sort of new exposure to me.
Sure.
And it's just like, oh, great, Bill Murray's he's just brilliant, isn't he? So yeah, I enjoyed it for that, but I understand your comments of that it's missing a few beats, really.
Yeah, it just felt like as it didn't hang together. I could really see the joins in the stitch work of the film this time. Whereas as my memory of it was just of the individually funny scenes that I really like, which I'm sure we'll cover a lot of them. But
Yeah, that worked really well for kids.
Yeah, exactly.
As an adult watching it again, it's kind of a bit of a Frankenstein, isn't it?
It really is.
Sorry, a Frankenstein's monster. I hate people who get that wrong. I can't be one of them.
I feel it's such a good idea for a film. Like a Bill Murray take on A Christmas Carol, where Bill Murray is playing an incredibly cynical bastard, basically.
Yeah, modern
80s bastard.
Scrooge.
Yeah, a modern Scrooge. And that's perfect. And especially in a world that... This film exists in a world in which A Christmas Carol also exists.
Yes.
So he kind of knows what's happening as it happens, and he's kind of commenting on it. And that's really funny
Oh,
and
you
great.
must be the ghost of Christmas past then.
Yeah, exactly. It's like he's expecting it. That's really good. But it feels like this film wants to be that, but also to be kind of quite a sentimental Christmas film in its own right. Like,
Yeah.
the love story is one of the big problems I have with this film. What did you guys think of the love story between him and Karen Allen from Raiders of the Lost Ark?
I think he shouldn't have kissed that woman before professing his love for her.
yeah, that's a big problem.
So I kissed that other woman completely. That was weird. I really liked the love story between them in the flashbacks.
Yeah.
When he was just starting out in television and trying to have a relationship, and like we saw them at Christmas, and it was really, really well. Obviously, we saw most of it at Christmas.
Yeah.
But then, like their fight about scheduling an evening's dinner, he was a bit pathetic in that one and completely ignored her feelings and whatnot. And he was a bit of a jerk, and that was obviously the downward spiral that ruined their relationship. And yeah, I thought they were really endearing it before that bit in the flashbacks, but then in the sort of modern day one, it was just really, it seemed like he was desperately trying to grab something he didn't have.
Yeah.
And she didn't seem to feel it until right at the end when the plot said she needed to.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think she was given enough to do to make it seem like a plausible romance. Like,
Yeah.
I never really felt it between them. And that was... In the flashbacks I did, because I think they actually had good chemistry.
Yeah, me too.
And she's a good actress. I really like Karen Allen. But yeah, it was weird because he never really redeemed himself enough for me to think, oh yeah, you've won her back. Like,
yeah,
it was,
one speech does not quite
especially
redeem.
one speech in which you full on snog a scantily clad dancer, and then
True, yeah.
and then like,
Yeah.
but my true love is off camera over there.
Because a proper Christmas Carol story, he comes out of his house and goes around town handing things out to people and saying Merry Christmas and organising a party, and he just turns up and says, the real meaning of Christmas is family.
Yeah.
Kiss me, Karen Allen.
Also, in the other versions that we watched this week, and I think most versions of A Christmas Carol, Scrooge doesn't get the girl back because obviously Bill Murray is a younger Scrooge than
Yeah.
Michael Kane and Alistair Sim. So that more time has passed, and I think she's supposed to have married someone else or something, but it doesn't really come up. Like, that's just something he's lost. So that's another example of this film, I think, trying to be, maybe it's a product of its time. It's like, oh, we need to have a romance in this film as well to soften it. It's like, actually, it would have more meaning if he had just lost that woman, and it was like, that's the one. She's the one. You still have her in the film. Still have Karen Allen in the film as this warm-hearted, character, but she's the one that got away.
Yeah.
And not unconvincingly have him win her back at the end.
I did like out of all the Christmas Carol films I've ever seen, this was the only one where we saw her in the future.
True, yeah.
And she turned into a cynical monster
Oh,
just
she had
like
this
him.
weird Joan Collins on an acid trip makeover. It was crazy, yeah.
And for some reason, there were some urchins next to her table in that posh
Yeah.
restaurant. That was odd. But yeah, I did actually quite like that. Like, this is what the future of this incredibly kind, open-hearted woman is going to be.
Yeah.
Because you're going to do it to her. You're going to make her into that person. Don't ruin her.
Yeah, I like that too.
I like that a huge amount, but she could have done that he didn't need to get back with her to avoid that nasty future. He just needed to not ruin her.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's so many good ideas in this film, but for me, it was just a bit weird. It just felt weird. I think that's the way I can describe it. It felt weird. It felt like the final product wasn't finished. It was like it was a rough edit that they put out. Like,
there were a few moments where I thought they could have done it with another pass at the script.
Definitely. And apparently Bill Murray and the director Richard Donner clashed a lot in the production, which probably harmed the film in the long run. So, yeah. Well, you've been quite quiet, Harry. What did you think of the love interest plotline? Or
To be honest, I hadn't really clocked it as being there.
No,
because
it's
it's
kind of
so,
inconsequential.
it's so thin.
Yeah.
That I really just forgotten about it completely. It's just like she's there at some point earlier on in the film, and then she comes back at the end because he says that he loves her on telly.
Yeah. It's like, this has to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. This plot thread needs tying up with a little bow.
It could have absolutely just been taken out completely.
Yeah. I felt the same way about the Bob Cratchit Stanton, which is Alfred Woodard's character. I forget what she's called in this film. Presumably it's not Bob Cratchit.
No.
But I saw her. I was like, Alfred Woodard, great. She's always a good time. Like she is.
Yeah, I thought that too. And man, is it disappointing?
She gets nothing to do.
They don't really use her, do they?
She disappears completely from the plot. And again, it was like, oh great, because again, I watched all 3 Christmas carols in the space of 3 nights in a row, and you watched them all in one day.
Yeah.
To prepare for this. So I was like, after watching the Muppet Christmas Carol and the original, seeing Alfred Woodard show up, I was like, diversity! Hooray!
Yeah.
But yeah, she doesn't get a single thing to do. She doesn't get to be funny. She doesn't get to be over the top. She's just kind of
because she works well at 11 and she's told to work at like a 6 here.
Why even cast Alfred Woodard if you're not going to make her go to 11?
Well, I think it's because at this point she had not quite gone to 11 yet.
No, sure, no, she hadn't established that is what kind of actress she is. But
the only time I think the only other thing I've seen her in is the Star Trek one where she yells at Picard.
Luke Cage.
Oh, of course, yeah, she's the mob boss kind of lady, isn't she?
Sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
She is brilliant in that too.
Yeah, exactly.
even if it wasn't her, just the fact that the Bob Cratchit character is so important in the other 2 films, and in this one she's just kind of a background character. She gets dragged on at the end, but I feel like the characterization of the Tiny Tim thing doesn't work as well because there's not really as many stakes involved. It's not like, oh, this kid's going to die.
Yeah.
It's like, this kid doesn't speak because his dad got shot in front of him, which is horribly sad, but that's not on Bill Murray. You know, like, Tiny Tim is going to die because Scrooge doesn't pay...
doesn't pay
the family enough, so they can't get him the treatment that he needs to survive, and that's very clearly established stakes. Whereas this little Tiny Tim, again, whatever he's called in this film, doesn't speak because of a personal tragedy. And yes, Bill Murray doesn't pay his mum well enough that maybe she could see better doctors and stuff, but there's not like that same kind of sense of urgency. It's just
they do also establish that she does take him to see doctors,
yes,
and can afford to do so, and they can't work out what's going on.
Yes.
So
it was muddled. Yeah.
So when Scrooge cures him at the end with the
love,
power of Christmas spirit,
does Scrooge actually
no reason
give Alfred Woodard a pay rise at the end? Or does he just do it to, what's his face, the guy with the gun?
I think he does confess to the Ghost of Christmas Present that he definitely should have given her a raise by now, so we can assume that she's going to get one. But again, we don't get that scene.
Great.
Yeah. Although, John, I think you did theorise that he might only remain good for 5 more minutes, and then turn back into
that
his
was my
old
thing.
self.
This of the three Christmas carols I've seen, this was the one that I felt the least convinced that this was going to stick. I really felt like he was going to go straight back to being a dickhead within 6 months at the most.
Yeah, he won't make it through to next Christmas.
No, 100% not.
Oh, look. He did it.
He's a bright little guy.
Oh, yes.
What's wrong with him?
He hasn't spoken since he saw his father killed 5 years ago. He just drifted away. Like Sleeping Beauty.
I didn't know that Grace's husband had died.
Oh, Frank, don't you remember that period when she wore black for a year?
I remember her wearing black, but I thought it was a fashion thing. I mean, people were wearing black, you know.
Oh, Frank, my poor Frank.
Well, is he going to be okay?
It's his choice. Only he can break the spell.
I will say that this movie opens strong. The opening scene is maybe one of my favorite parts.
Is that with the boardroom?
No, well, it opens with these kind of fakey promos for because Bill Murray's character is the president or the network executive of this like fictional US TV network, and they're showing like a promo reel for their Christmas lineup, and it starts with this amazing action film starring Lee Majors, who was like a big action star in the 70s. It's called The Night the Reindeer Died.
Yeah,
And it's like-
and there's a bunch of guys in like ski masks and sort of SAS fatigues attacking Santa's workshop.
Yeah.
And he comes in with a minigun and blows a whole bunch of stuff up.
Well, yeah, there's Santa's Grotto with like Santa and Mrs. Santa Claus and a bunch of hideously disturbing, nightmare-inducing looking elves.
Yes. Speaking of which, I would like to contribute to Wig Watch right now.
Wig Watch.
There's a theme tune for
No,
Wig
not
Watch.
really. No. I'm trying to make it work.
There's one elf who looks like some cross between a toilet brush and Cher and Susie from Susie and the Banshees.
Yeah.
With just the most ridiculous punk spike wig going on.
I clocked her too, yeah. She looked
What
weird.
was going on there? She was the only elf that seemed any kind of counterculture, just looking like an elf.
Yeah, it was great.
She was so out of place, it was weird. She was more out of place than the dude kicking the door in with a minigun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was odd.
But yeah, Santa's Grotto gets attacked, and then Mrs. Claus runs up to a closet and opens up, and it's just a closet full of machine guns. Like, this Santa Claus is packing heat.
Yeah.
Great.
I mean, I want to see that film.
Yeah, I 100% want to
I
watch that
haven't
film.
pitched that as a sequel, but
No,
I
me
still
too.
want to see that.
Absolutely, yeah, that was great.
It made me think of, I want to say Paul Verhoeven, the RoboCop Starship
Yeah.
Troopers guy. Would you like to know more? I was expecting some more adverts and trailers and stuff to fill out this world and what Bill Murray's
Yeah, I would have liked that
likes
to have been
in
like a
TV.
constant theme. It only happens
Yeah.
in the beginning. But yeah, and they have Robert Goulet, who's like a low-rent Frank Sinatra type, like his... what was it? Christmas on the Bayou or something?
A very Cajun Christmas.
A very Cajun Christmas,
I
that's
think.
it.
It
And
was
he's,
definitely the word Cajun.
yeah, because he's singing like Jingle Bells, and then there's like an alligator. He's just
Yeah,
like
he's punting
Jingle
along in a
Bells, Batman.
Yeah.
That was great. And then the other one is Father Loves Beaver, which is just a great.
Yeah, I think that's a play on a TV show.
Leave it to Beaver. Yeah. Oh, your daddy's out chasing beaver. I was like, great. Love it. Love this. Love all of this.
Yep, this is a film appropriate for families
Yes.
at Christmas.
That's what I mean. That's what, as a kid, I think I like this because it's like, ooh, naughty jokes. You know, like, ooh, swears and guns and sexual.
Swears and guns.
Yeah. I found this very exciting as like an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah.
That's reasonable.
Yeah.
7 o'clock. Psycho sees Santa's workshop. Eat this. And only Lee Majors can stop them. The night the reindeer die. 8:30, and America's best-loved singer invites you to share a home-style holiday. When it's Bob Goulet's old-fashioned Cajun Christmas. 9 o'clock, IBC presents America's favorite family in a special Christmas episode.
Hi, Mom. Where's Dad? Should have been home by now.
Well, Wally, if I know your father, he's out chasing beaver.
Father Loves Beaver. Here on IBC. You'll love it.
Yes, so Bill Murray is this young-ish network executive, and he's an unrepentant bastard.
Who does have a good 80s mullet.
Oh
which,
my God, his mullet.
I did really enjoy, and my favourite part of it was when we had a friend-style flashback, and suddenly his mullet just got bigger.
It got twice the size. Yeah.
That's what it was. It's gone from an 80s mullet to a 60s mullet.
Yeah.
And it's curlier, it's longer, and stop looking at my hair, John, please.
Definitely leveled
I
up
was
his
going to
mullet.
if you wore your hair down right now. What I loved about it was the hair at the back got bigger and bigger, but the front didn't change.
Yeah, he still had the thinning
He still-
hairline
yeah, he
because
still
it
was
was
like
still
a-
Bill Murray.
Totally, yeah. It was great. Yeah, there was some good top quality 80s hair in this film.
Yes.
And shoulder pants.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I enjoyed a lot of his like acolytes in the network. The blonde woman who doesn't get many lines, and Alfred Woodard. There's a lot of shoulder pad action happening, which I always enjoy. So yeah, he's an unrepentant bastard of a network exec, and they're planning a live Christmas musical production of A Christmas Carol, the traditional version. They've produced like a traditional promo with like, his team, and then he's like, "This is rubbish. Let me show you mine." That he's just done of his own accord.
Yeah.
Okay.
Without any of his team knowing
Well,
about as
yeah.
well. So, like, does he think that he's good at all these things?
It seems
and
like
so then why does he employ these people?
yeah, it seems like a waste of money.
Yeah.
I mean, he's pretty happy to fire them. He's pretty trigger happy, as we
Oh,
find
yeah,
out.
that's true.
So he fires a guy played by Bobcat Goldthwait, who's like a voice actor mostly. That voice is very distinctive. He always sounds like he's mid-puberty and he's got like a frog in his throat or something. Fires him. Alfred Woodard is his Bob Cratchit figure, who's like his long-suffering personal assistant. And then he gets visited by the ghost of his old boss, who's the Jacob Marley character, I guess, who's like a zombie, who warns him that he will be visited by 3 ghosts starting at noon. They change it from midnight to noon. He'll be visited by 3 ghosts to try and save his soul, basically. And then we basically run through the plot of the Christmas Carol, which I'm sure everybody knows. But yeah, so we get Ghost of Christmas.
We've all gone through way too many times today.
Yeah, we're not. You know what a Christmas Carol looks like.
Yeah.
In the past week, I've seen a one-man show, the rehearsal for a one-man show, A Christmas Carol, A Muppets Christmas Carol, Scrooge, and I've also listened to a lovely podcast called Book Cheat, where Dave Warnocky from Do Go On tells the other Do Go On co-host about the story of Christmas Carol from the actual Charles Dickens novel, so I know a bit of source material as well.
And now
but I am Christmas Caroled out.
And now you're going to hear 3 sequel/prequel/spin-off pitches about A Christmas Carol.
And I really hope when you get home for Christmas, your parents are like, let's watch A Christmas Carol.
And
there's another version you didn't know about.
I'm also now not looking forward to listener submissions as well, because they're all going to be Christmas Carol related and just like, ugh, can we not just be done with this already?
Okay, so we have the Ghosts of Christmas Past, Present and Future. What was your favourite of the 3?
Sorry, I wasn't listening. What?
We have the Ghosts of Christmas Past, Present and Future.
Yeah.
Which was your favourite of the 3?
Oh, easily the past.
Past?
Easily.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
the creepy taxi driver guy.
What's his name? Benicio del Toro.
It's not Benicio del Toro.
It's not.
Guillermo
but it
del
looks like
Toro?
him.
No, it looks exactly like him. It's not him.
He does look similar.
It's
Definitely
not
him.
Benicio del Toro.
Seriously?
Seriously, it's not him.
Yeah, he'd be
It's the guy from the New York Dolls.
too young anyway, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he would have been too young.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna look this up.
But yeah,
Still,
I liked him too. I liked the gag walking through the door, even though the CG wasn't great.
Yeah.
John, yours is the Christmas present, isn't it?
Obviously, yeah. But I did like Past as well. I liked the gag when they look back at Scrooge's tragic childhood and his dad's this like drunken kind of neglectful father, and his Christmas present for his 5-6-year-old son is veal.
Yeah, from the butcher shop he already worked.
Yeah, and then Bill Murray starts crying, and then the Ghost of Christmas Past like, told you you'd cry. It's like, I was moved by the gift. That's a good slice of meat. It's like,
Yeah, that was good.
yeah, that's good. No, but no, for me, Carol Kane as the Ghost of Christmas Present as a demented sugar plum fairy.
Yeah.
For me, walked away with the movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved her. She
Taking
was.
run-ups to punch him in the face.
Yeah. She was just doing so much.
and she was so
Yes.
annoying with it.
I loved it. How could you? I found
hated
it
it.
so funny. Again, that's from childhood. That the toaster scene is the one thing that really stuck with me from a child. That whole
Oh,
kind
where
of
she
like,
hits him with a
"Ah,
toaster."
The bitch hit me with a toaster. Like, she's just doing the absolute most. She knows exactly what she's in, and she just walks in and just steals the whole movie for me. The voice is so great. Harry is shaking his head in profound disagreement.
Just totally done with this.
Great.
Humbug.
Humbug, yeah.
We're fighting again. Let's not fight anymore. Oh, look, Frank. What is it? I can't find the car. It's a...
Answer it, Max.
The bitch hit me with a toaster. Oh, I love a girl with spirit.
The cremation scene really freaked me out as a kid as well.
God, yeah.
That really scared. That really stayed with me as a kid. Like, he literally gets burned alive, which you don't see in the other Scrooge films.
No.
Funnily enough, the Muppets don't have a burning alive scene.
No, yeah, I think that would definitely cross it over a little bit past the point of this being kid friendly. So, yeah.
Was it a kids' film?
What? No, this isn't.
Scrooged.
Scrooge, no. I mean, Muppet Christmas Carol would not have had Michael Caine burning alive.
I know. I'm
This is not a
talking
kid-
about Scrooge.
Yeah,
Was
Scrooge is-
Scrooge the kids' film? Or
No,
was
I
it-
don't think Scrooge is a kid film.
Okay.
It's a film kids watched, but I don't think it's aimed at children.
I would say it's bordering on a family film, but you wouldn't bring
Yeah.
your 6-year-old to
No,
it.
yeah, there's swearing in it, and there's, moderate, mild violence in
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
If you've got
There's a
young
little tiny
teens...
little bit of nipple in there as well.
Okay.
Yeah, if you've got young teens, I think you can probably hang a family movie night on that.
Sure. But this should have been like Bad Santa. It should have been like, this is not for kids.
Yeah, it
And
could-
no part of this is for kids.
Yeah.
Rather than like, oh, maybe,
Yeah, they maybe tried to have their cake and eat it too a
a
bit.
little bit, yeah.
Okay, drinking games.
Let's go.
I only have one, so can I do mine first?
Go for it.
Sure.
Okay, drink with everyone on scene having a drink.
Oh, that's a good one, yeah.
Yeah, I've got
it's
that.
a bit of a go-to, but the reason I think this one's quite good is because right at the beginning, he has a vodka Coke, or is it tab a kind of Coke?
Just something, like, yeah.
A vodka with a mixer, and it's about half and half.
Yeah.
And then later on, he has one where she makes it for him, his secretary makes it for him, and she makes it mostly vodka with a little splash of Coke.
Mm-hmm.
And then he makes one for himself at the end, which is vodka all the way to the top, and then he just shakes a Coke can next to it. 2 drips of Coke go in, then just wanders off and drinks it.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that a lot. And then also the gun-toting guy desperately trying to have his drink, like 2, maybe 3 times, and it gets knocked out of his hands.
Oh, yeah, bless him, yeah.
I don't know how that guy manages to get drunk for the end of the show,
No,
because he keeps having the drinks knocked out of his hands.
There's also the I forget his name, Marley at the start. He drinks, but he's got gun holes in him now.
Oh,
so
yes.
Oh, that's right.
The drink just pours out of him.
Yes, that was good.
I love zombie drinking jokes.
Yes.
They're in a few films and they're always great.
Never fail.
Always good. Okay, so drink whenever what's her face gets injured.
Oh, the health and safety
Censor.
inspector.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. There's a little supporting character who is constantly getting hit with things. Like,
Yeah.
but there's a scene. So she's on set to do health and safety inspections. And what happens to her first? What's the first thing? Does the set fall on her or something?
No. She gets knocked by a lamppost.
That's it.
There's a guy holding a lamppost like a
That's
like
it.
a slapstick ladder, and he turns around. Everybody ducks because they know to, but she doesn't.
She gets
and,
it square
and she
in the
gets
face.
hit by the
And she's
bottom of a
lying
lamppost.
on the ground, unconscious. You know, she's taking a metal pole to the face. She's not a well woman. And then the next thing that happens is it a snowball or something?
No, the next thing that happens is Bill Murray snaps her neck.
Yeah.
Oh, he does, yeah. It's so, yeah. But then there's a bit where like he calls a nurse over. He's like, "I'll patch her up or whatever." And then the next thing that falls on her, whether it's the sets or something.
The set falls on her,
Yeah,
and then later
she's
on
just she's been abandoned though. Like it's like they've put a bandage on and just left her lying
yeah,
there.
and then a barrel rolls into her.
Yeah. She takes a lot of abuse, but then it's
Yeah.
fine because she gets to rape a guy at the end. So
Yeah. Yeah, she gets to kiss a guy against his will.
yeah.
John?
Drink for shotguns. Drink for people being shot at, which happens
Sure.
quite a lot. Like when
Yeah.
when the Marley figure comes in, Bill Murray just has a gun. He just he very quickly jumps to shooting at this person, and then obviously at the end, Bobcat Goldthwait is just chasing Bill Murray around with a shotgun and shooting at him repeatedly. And it's
Also, he takes the gun off him and throws it over his shoulder, and it goes off.
yeah, it was
That's
very,
not how guns work.
Oh, it is in
but
films, though.
It was funny.
It was very like Elmer Fudd and Bugs Bunny. Like,
I mean, he makes that joke, doesn't he?
yeah, exactly.
It was very good. Give me a running start. Okay.
Yeah, it got very slapstick at that point, very like
Yes.
Looney Tunes. Yeah.
I've only got one more, which is drink for whenever a piece of set breaks.
Oh, that's good.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. So I drink for
fair few of them, the set falling down all the time. and everything.
Yes, exactly. I drink for shoulder pads. We've covered it. There's a lot of them. I like it. I approve. Drink every time Bill Murray yells at someone.
oh.
You'd be hammered.
Oh yeah.
Perpetually.
Yeah. Drink for callbacks to the original Christmas Carol movie. I mean, it is literally the 1951 version appears in this film as a
Yes.
flashback, and obviously there's a whole production of it in the background. It exists in a world in which the Christmas Carol is a famous story, so there's
Yeah.
lots of little bits here.
He never it's very meta, but he never actually I don't think he ever references the fact that he's trying to put on a Christmas Carol and it's happening to
No,
himself.
he kind of says things like, "Oh, I guess you're the ghost of Christmas past." Then sure, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah,
It's like he's aware,
definitely aware.
but he never says out loud, "Oh God, I'm in a version of a Christmas Carol." Right.
Yeah.
He doesn't feel like the sort of person who would know the story to A Christmas Carol.
Everyone knows it. It's like
I
a modern
don't-
fairy tale.
Well, I didn't know it until earlier this week.
Really?
I don't feel he's got the attention span to sit through it.
He's
You
producing a television version of it though. So
Is he though?
Yes.
Or is he just the president of the network?
Well, he knows enough about it to create an advert.
He's
for it.
commissioned it.
Yeah, did his advert have anything to do with it?
Well, no.
So
I feel like
I don't think that
I
he's
think you're
watched
the
it.
exception, Harry. I think by cultural osmosis, people
Yeah.
know Christmas Carol
Yeah.
pretty well. The idea of the ghost, the idea of Scrooge. Like, the word Scrooge means miser now. We use it as a word with a lowercase s to mean person who doesn't give their money away freely.
Sure.
Well, let's move on before Harry completely checks out. Last one for me was drink for physical injuries suffered by any character.
Yes.
Bill Murray suffers a lot, but obviously there's also the health and safety inspector person, and lots of physical injury in this film. Okay,
Good drinking games.
cool. So Patreon,
Friends game.
Friends game, sure. Well, obviously it's Ross, right?
Ross is Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that checks out.
Phoebe as the ghost of Christmas present.
Yes, 100%.
Ghost of Christmas Past.
Joey?
Joey?
I can't brought you around with it then. I was like,
Joey works as past.
yeah.
Christmas Future is definitely Mr. Hackles.
Yeah. Yes.
Rachel as Karen Allen.
The love interest, yeah. That
Yes.
works, yeah.
So does that mean Monica? Do we cast Monica?
We haven't yet.
The health and safety inspector.
Yes.
Maybe, well, she
that
could be.
works.
She could be like Bob Cratchit. We need a Bob Cratchit character.
Chandler.
Maybe Chandler and Monica are Mr. and Mrs. Cratchit.
Okay.
Oh, that works. That
Okay,
works
yeah,
very well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that it?
Excellent. That's the Six Friends.
Great. If you were to cast this film with the cast of 30 Rock.
Oh God. Okay.
I've
Is
never
Alec Baldwin going to be Scrooge? Surely.
Yeah.
He's got to be Scrooge. I'm surprised they didn't do like an episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alec Baldwin's got to be Ebenezer Scrooge. Tina Fey...
Cratchit, whatever it is.
Yeah, I guess.
Who's Tracy?
Tracy Morgan. Oh, he's got to be the ghost of Christmas past, surely.
Yeah, I guess. Ghost of Christmas Present?
Jenna Maroney.
Oh, absolutely.
Got to be Jenna
Absolutely.
Maroney.
And Future?
Kenneth?
Yeah, Canada's good for that, yeah.
I totally agree with all of this.
Oh, you've not seen 30
You
Rock?
should watch
You're
30
missing
Rock.
out. It's great.
Yeah, apparently.
You'd enjoy that one too. So before we get to sequels, we'd like to talk about Patreon. We are there. If you have enjoyed any of our episodes this year,
Or last year. Or ever, yeah.
or last year, I guess. Or next year, depending when you're listening to this.
Yeah.
Please go to patreon.com/beyondtheboxset and donate as much or as little as you like. We would really appreciate it. And maybe I'll enjoy Christmas a bit more. Maybe one day I'll actually enjoy the Muppets if somebody pays me enough.
How much would it take for you to...
$15,000 a month.
What would you do for that money, Muppet related?
Buy Jim Henson's corporation. That's
Don't-
going to be more expensive.
Yeah.
Than that. But the only way you would enjoy the Muppets is possibly
I
by
don't,
buying it.
No, I don't want
and
them.
then
I don't want the
films.
legacy of the Muppets to be in your hands.
What do you... Ooh, I
Neither do
like
I,
that.
actually.
No, I don't like
That's
that
a
at
good
all.
point.
No.
Okay, what do you want me to do to the Muppets?
Well, I think we should definitely have a Muppet marathon.
Ugh.
Every Muppet movie.
If somebody donates $20 or more a month,
Yeah.
I'll do that.
$20 or more a month, you'll watch every Muppet film.
Every
with me.
Muppet film.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow. How long do they have
Wait
to
a
have
minute.
$20
Wait,
a month
wait,
going for?
Wait a minute. $20 a month, as long as that money is not coming from John.
Oh, damn it.
I just clocked what you were doing there. I just clocked it.
For how long does that have to happen? Like, for how long does one have to have $20 a month on?
I would say ideally the foreseeable, but 6 months minimum.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just converting because you didn't say I couldn't. That's 80 quid? No, it's not worth it.
And I'm saying
that
money
maths
not
right.
money not coming from you, meaning you can't pay someone to do it.
Damn it.
Yeah, that's why I said not coming from you, not donated from
It's
you.
not worth 80 quid to torture Harry through more Muppet movies.
Anyway,
Speak for
so
yourself.
if you do decide to give us $20 a month, $15,000 a month, or just whatever you can afford, whatever the cost of a pint a month or something, I don't know, whatever you feel like. If you do, we'll give you a bonus show every now and then, which is called Beyond the Box Set, where we review films we see in the cinema. We only go to cinema once a week, so that's vaguely when the episodes come out. So other than the bonus show, if you do become a patron, then we will give you a 30-second ad slot once a month, because everybody likes to promote themselves mainly. So here's your chance to do so. Ross, would you like to have a quick 30 seconds to yourself?
Sure.
In 3, 2,
Oh, he's timing me.
1, go!
Okay, I co-host Two Geeks, Two Movies with Harry, which we've mentioned a few times before. Please check your interest over there if you want to hear us compare two similar movies and talk about their plots and review them. Also, I am personally, professionally a juggler, so if you are interested in juggling workshops, juggling performances, I could teach you how to crack a whip or spin fire or something like that. Get in touch with the boys at Beyond the Box Set and they can get you in touch with me and I can work for you as a juggler. That's the only other thing I do that I can advertise. So
General circus skills, you got a lot going on there.
I have lots of general circus skills too.
You do science shows?
I do.
You do tutoring?
I do that. Yeah, but I don't need to advertise either of those. I have agencies for that.
Okay, fair. Right. Okay, well, science stuff. Get in touch. We'll point you Ross's way. Ross Burton, circus artist. He's good. He's got some really good looking merch.
Mm-hmm.
That's because Harry decided.
Yay, go me.
Well, I don't have merch. I have business cards.
It's the same thing. I don't know. You got flyers.
If you want to buy a T-shirt, then I'll have one specially printed for you. But I don't currently have any. Oh, I have got a mug.
Oh, we're all dragging this out quite a lot. Was there anything else? Oh yeah, and patrons, you do also get to choose a film for us once a month. So you choose a film that doesn't have any sequels, prequels, or spin-offs. We will do it on the main show and pitch some sequels to it. You are welcome to join us. We would encourage that. If you want us to talk about a film that already does have sequels or something, or is a sequel itself, we'll do it on the bonus show. And, we'll just talk it through. It's good fun to talk about films. That's generally why the three of us are in this room.
That is why we do the things we do.
Yes. So all that is available at patreon.com/beyondtheboxset. Is that it?
Yeah, sequels?
Yes, sequels.
Cool. Awesome.
I would like to go first.
Go ahead.
Okay, so this one is going to be... It's kind of a prequel, kind of a sidequel to Scrooged.
Okay.
And it is going to be starring the crew of The Next Generation.
Star Trek The Next Generation. Okay,
Ooh.
sure. Interesting.
By the way, I'm titling this Star Trek First Contact 2.
Okay, is this because Alfred Woodard's in it?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh,
okay,
okay.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So go with me here. If you have any other ideas that could be slotted in here, then please do.
In terms of titles, or?
In terms of Alfred Woodard, really.
Okay.
I've not written much for her in this, but she's
Okay, sure.
absolutely my favourite character of both of these films.
Great, sure.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so the crew of The Next Generation have all returned to the Enterprise F or something, a later one, for some kind of reunion.
Sure. So this is the cast of The Next Generation in the present day of Reunited. I mean, not in the rest.
in present day, like 25th
the present day
century, or whatever.
actors,
Yeah.
this is existing.
Yeah. So they're all a fair bit older.
Sure, yeah.
Picard and Beverly Crusher are now retired.
Okay.
Riker is an admiral now. Data is back as like B4, whatever he is when he's now. I don't
You
know.
tell me, I don't know.
The whole gang's back essentially.
Great, cool.
So they're having a party in 10 forward of the current ship.
Okay.
A red alert is called, and the ship is attacked. Quite quickly, the bridge is destroyed, and all the main crew of this ship are killed, which just leaves room for the Next Generation crew to just be like, right, we're in charge now, and still slot back into their original places.
So I'm confused.
So, the ship gets attacked.
Right.
The bridge is destroyed with all the crew of that ship on it.
Oh, so they're not the crew. The cast of the
The
next generation.
they're just back for like a reunion, like a...
Oh, they're not actually in control of the ship. They're just here to attend a party.
Yeah, sort of thing.
And then the actual crew get killed in an attack.
Yes.
So the next
and so
generation
then
crew.
Picard's like, right, we're taking charge.
Okay,
Yeah,
I get it.
Except there's no bridge now.
Yeah. Well, maybe the bridge is the holodeck or something. So then they go back to the Enterprise D bridge.
Oh, God.
The best bridge.
Okay, fine.
I'm getting all Trekkie now.
Maybe there's a secondary control bridge that looks like one of the old.
To be fair, there is a battle bridge.
There you go. Perfect.
My eyes
They
are
go there.
glazed over, listeners.
They can go there.
Hey, you like Star Trek?
I do, but I like to pretend I don't.
Yeah.
I've got a
It is
reputation to protect,
it is
yeah.
fun to pretend, yeah. And, nobody wants to be a nerd. It turns out that the attackers are the Borg.
Oh, okay, of course. What else? Yeah.
Standard enemy. And Picard, he, again takes charge of this fight, wins the fight against the Borg, but not before a small Borg escape pod manages to travel back in time again towards Earth, of which the Enterprise follows. So this is essentially almost exactly the opening scene to Star Trek First Contact.
Okay, yeah.
Borg go back in time to try and prevent humanity from becoming this great space race that can defeat the Borg.
I see, okay.
That's essentially the plot of that film.
Okay. So the cast of The Next Generation have gone back in time now.
Back to 1983.
Okay.
And watch as the Borg ship travels down to Earth and lands. We then watch as a single Borg drone gets out, goes into a house and starts attacking his family, consisting of Alfred Woodard, some husband, who gets killed off pretty quickly, and their son.
Oh, okay. So what you're positing here is that the reason Tiny Tim doesn't speak in Scrooged is because his father was killed by the Borg.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Also, does that mean that, like, several generations later, she has a great-great-great-great-granddaughter who looks just like her, who works with Zefram Cochrane then?
Yeah.
That's good, I like it.
Thank you.
That works out really well.
Yes,
so the
it does.
Borg in First Contact went back to Zefram Cochrane's time.
Yes, they went back there to try and sort of stop Zefram Cochrane, who essentially created faster than light travel for humanity. Alfred Woodard played a key role in that film, at least,
And
which
this group
of
Borg,
course the Borg lost. So now they're thinking, hey, Terminator was good. Let's go back
even further.
and sort of destroy her ancestry and see if that works.
Okay.
So they kill her husband,
So-
not
so-
her though.
Well, they're trying to get to her son, essentially.
Oh, right. But of course he's there because he.
Yeah, her husband, and maybe her as well. I don't know, but her husband gets killed,
Yeah.
probably defending them.
That
Okay.
makes sense. Yep.
Wow.
I like it.
Oh, God. Sorry.
I mean, I don't really want to take anything away from Alfred Woodard by saying that she can't defend herself or anything.
No,
but,
no, no. I was
The
just,
dad needs to die.
no, sure. No, just that makes sense. I
She
think
wasn't
it's generous,
necessarily
but-
there when.
Oh yeah. just roll with it.
Okay, no, I'm here. I'm here
Yeah,
for it.
yeah.
Here for it. Okay.
Okay, so they arrive just too late to actually save the dad, so obviously the dad dies, as we know needs to happen, but they do manage to disable the Borg before it kills the mother and son.
Okay.
So everything's fine there. They think they saved the day, and so they go back to their ship. They take the body with them, doesn't matter, and they go home. Only to find that when they get back to the 24th century or whatever it is, the Borg have taken over.
Okay.
And so they've lost the fight.
So this is an alternate future in which the Borg have now...
Pretty much, but I mean, they instantly just they go back to the past.
Okay, right.
Because that's one thing that's never discussed in First Contact, the time travel element, how it's done.
No.
They never come back.
It's a hole in space.
They do that in Star Trek a few times.
Yeah.
I think there was one point in like Star Trek 4 or something that Kirk's like, if we fly into a sun at light speed, we'll go back in time, and it works. It's...
Sure.
Yeah.
Do we go back in time to exactly the right location? You know what, funnily we do.
Yeah, but blue whales are endangered. That's Star Trek for you.
Yeah.
They go back to the 80s and they find out what went wrong. They find out that the boy is the grandfather of Alfred Woodard's character from First Contact.
Okay.
So like, okay, well, we remember her, because,
Sure.
you know, her and Picard, they had that thing. And so we need to keep her alive so that First Contact can actually happen the way that we made it happen.
Sure.
So they work out that they need to essentially keep this boy alive.
Okay.
They look a little bit forward in history, and they see that this boy essentially dies of some medical reason. Essentially, Alfred Woodard can't afford to pay the medical bills.
Oh, so
I
they
see,
manage
okay.
Scrooge's.
Yeah. So what they do is like, okay, well, we need to get her more money somehow, and Data being Data makes some kind of reference to A Christmas Carol.
Okay.
It's like, hey, this sounds a little bit. I don't know. And so it's like, okay, we're gonna do A Christmas Carol on.
It's like a holodeck episode.
Pretty much. You know what the whole thing could be. I don't know. Maybe at the end, it was all a dream.
Sure. Okay.
Whatever. So that's what they decide to do.
So what you're saying is the cast of Star Trek are pulling all the strings to make Scrooged happen, so that Alfred Woodard will get a raise, so that her son will live to give birth to another version of Alfred Woodard.
You make it sound more convoluted than. Let's be honest, it is.
Carry
That's
on.
correct.
Carry on. Okay.
So yeah, they're gonna just recreate A Christmas Carol essentially for Bill Murray's character.
Okay.
So now we get the fun job of casting who is going to be who.
Okay. Sure.
So who's going to be the first ghost that you see?
Oh, Marley.
Marley.
Jacob Marley.
Yeah.
I feel like that's got to be Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that fits.
Do you think he looks that old?
Yeah, Patrick Stewart. Yeah,
Like a dead body?
Anyone. or Worf, and maybe the. No, Worf's got a big Christmas future, hasn't he? Yet to come. He's scary looking.
Yeah.
I suppose. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That makes sense.
No, I think Patrick Stewart could do the whole, woe is me, the chains, the shackles of my guilt are dragging me down to hell.
Yes, because then he can just act his way through.
Yeah,
it.
he can.
Yeah.
But they screw it up and accidentally send the wrong person in who does the golfer character instead.
Yes.
Because he doesn't do the chains and the
No, he
woe is
doesn't.
me
Yeah.
in this version.
What
So
if-
that's their plan, and they accidentally send someone else in.
Oh,
instead.
what's the name of that guy in Star Trek who's like a bit of a red shirt, but he crops up in all of them.
Will
though.
Wheaton?
No, not Will Wheaton.
Barkley.
Barkley, yeah.
Yes.
Could Barkley do it?
I like the idea.
Sure. I was thinking actually it could be like a malfunctioning Data,
Maybe, yeah.
Yes.
because then he could have things like the golf ball coming out of his head
Oh, that's true. He could.
and stuff like that, and he could have holes in him. So when he drinks, he everything comes out.
Actually, yes, he's best positioned to.
I was also thinking to do some kind of technological thing as to why he can hold Bill Murray out of a window.
Okay, yeah, you're right. That makes sense.
So he holds him out of a window, maybe Data's arm falls off, they drop him, they drop Bill Murray, they
Teleport him
teleport him
Teleport him
up just
back
at the last moment. He does literally land in a chair in Scrooged.
True, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
he lands in a chair, which he doesn't realise is the holodeck,
Okay, yeah.
which is then my explanation for a lot of things from now on.
Also, can I suggest that Jean-Luc Picard is practicing his Marley's ghost and he's shaking his chains and stuff, and then someone walks in and says, "Dude, you've been rehearsing for far too long. We just did it."
Yeah.
Data went and did it.
Yeah, and he's like, oh.
Oh.
Yeah, I like that.
No, we come back at the very end of the film and we see Picard just in his
Still doing
in
it.
his ready room, and he's there dressed as Scrooge, like with the top hat, the scarf over one shoulder, and he's just playing every part by himself.
He's doing it, man.
He's essentially doing that one-man show that's earlier this week.
I have taken this one-man show this far,
Yeah.
and no further.
So basically, the entire plot of Scrooge now is happening on the holodeck, apart from the beginning bit, because they've just basically used that trick of him being dropped off the building to teleport him into the... I like it.
Yes.
That explains it a lot.
It does, doesn't it?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so Ghost of Christmas Past. I was thinking Riker.
Yes,
Is he mad enough?
he could play mad.
Maybe Riker, like when he's got turned into this old admiral type.
Okay, sure.
He's gone a bit mad.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that can explain how the taxi can go back in time and stuff. It's just the holodeck. It's fine.
Yeah, I know anything can happen in a holodeck.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And like walking through doors and stuff.
Yeah.
So that all lines up pretty well. Did we say who was Gus Christmas Present?
No, I mean it's Deanna Troi, surely.
Yeah.
Surely.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only other woman I can think of is Beverly Crusher.
Yeah, she's the only other woman.
Yeah.
She's too placid.
Yeah, exactly.
She's just fine.
Yeah.
I mean, she's whatever. Yeah, Deanna Troi, I think just beating up Bill Murray would be
A lot of
quite fun.
Yeah.
If you're wondering the technicalities of this, what I'm going to do when I obviously make this film, I'm going to transpose these new actors over the old film.
Oh, that's good.
So it'll still be Bill Murray looking like, 40-year-old Bill Murray or whatever he was.
But the other actors...
Like present
add,
day,
like,
Curtis, just like...
Yeah.
like the way they did it with Kung Pao.
True. And then did we say Worf was the Ghost of Christmas Future?
Yet to come. I think he should be, yeah. He's
Yeah.
scary
I
enough.
mean, you don't want to see his face, but
Exactly,
it works.
Yeah, exactly. Who else would it be?
Well, nobody.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, they could do a thing where he's like, you're not very scary, it's just some guy in a... never mind.
Yes, that's good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so when Bill Murray's in the elevator, for example,
Yeah.
instead of opening it up like that, he opens it up like that, and you see what a Klingon's belly looks like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not something you've ever seen before. Yeah.
That's true. It's got the exact same things as the forehead does.
Yeah.
Same waves.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, and so essentially they make it work, and they go home and live happily ever after. That's pretty much it.
Oh, okay. So it is Scrooged, but on the holodeck, essentially.
Yes.
Scrooge meets First Contact, and... Yeah, okay, no, that makes sense. I like it.
Yeah, I think it probably could have been better if we made the whole thing a holodeck story rather than making a convoluted Borg time travel plot.
I
But,
like the Borg time travel plot is my favourite bit.
I mean, that's the bit that I didn't write.
Oh, is
Right,
this
that's
That's the bit that I copied from First Contact.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, but the idea of the Borg being the one who killed Tiny Tim's dad, I love that.
It's a bit extreme, isn't it?
It's very extreme.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's good. Okay, who's next? Ross.
Ross.
You like to sandwich the guest between you guys, don't you?
We do.
Okay, so my first idea was I wanted the Shotgun Guy to have a sidequel in which he has a sort of similar to Michael Douglas's Falling Down movie.
I was thinking that too. Yeah.
But that movie has already been made.
Yeah.
And I've watched some of it and I really want to catch the rest, but it looks really good. So
Falling
I
Down's
didn't do
great.
that. What I instead have decided to do is pick another Dickens book
Oh, okay, interesting.
and do a modern retelling of that. Except I decided to go for another Dickens book and go more modern.
Oh, okay, as in futuristic.
Exactly. However, I have 5 Dickensian retellings in a different genre, which I decided not to do. So I'm going to give you those quickly. First, the Prickwick Papers,
Nice.
which is a porn retelling. Nicholas Nickelback,
Oh,
which
God.
is a story about a character who follows Nickelback around, and it's like a kind of road movie.
Pissing
David
on a
Copperfield.
great author's grave here.
David Copperfield, which is a biopic about the magician.
Yeah.
A Tale of Two Spaceships, which is a sci-fi version.
Yeah.
And Bleak Castle, which is the medieval version of Bleak House.
Nice.
Medieval fantasy. Which, of course, leaves you with Oliver Twist in space.
Oliver Twist in space.
Yeah, well, I haven't actually titled this, but I was going with Oliver Twisted because you can put ED on the end of anything.
Sure.
So, here we go. I had to do a bit of research because I didn't know the story of Oliver Twist very well.
Okay.
But see what you think of this. So, we're in a space station. It's an isolated community, very much like Victorian London was.
Okay.
So it's an isolated community, and here we have Oliver in a baby farm, managed by a sort of robotic midwives kind of thing. Possibly grown in petri dishes, or at least biological parents exist, but grown in a kind of artificial situation.
So is this like a dystopian horror future, or is it more...
Yeah, it's going to be pretty dystopian. Think used future, alien, grimy, Matrix real world kind of stuff.
Okay.
That's the general form. It's not most of Doctor Who or Star Trek. It's gritty.
Sure.
It's my general vision. So he's in a baby farm until he's about 9, run by these midwife robots.
Mm-hmm.
His parents possibly exist, but we don't know.
Sure.
And then he transfers over to a workhouse building something spacey.
Mm-hmm.
But we do establish in this time that there's that every single person has a kind of a chip implanted in them. called a ring, which is, let's say, the back of the hand. It could be anywhere, but the back of the hand, and it's like a little ring of microchips or something, which is your ID card, and it also got loads of other information, including your banking details, your wealth.
I feel that kind of exists in the real world.
Exactly, but this is something now that literally everyone has.
Okay, it's become standardized. Sure.
Exactly, yeah. So you have that installed as a baby, and it kind of grows with you and that kind of thing. So then he ends up being apprenticed in the main portion of the space station to an undertaker who is clearly up to something with the bodies he's picking up.
Oh, okay.
I haven't yet worked out if I wanted to do a side plot with that, but I reckon that by the end we'd probably work out that the bodies get liquefied and fed to the babies.
Oh no! Oh my god!
Because I'm going full Matrix.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
This is a dark Oliver Twist.
It really is dark. Well, I mean, Oliver
Twist is dark. Yeah.
You know? I'm trying to stay true to Dickens in that sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, he does a runner from the workhouse and does a runner from the apprentice undertaking job, and he falls in with a crowd of hackers.
Okay.
Young, early teens, led by the Artful Dodger, obviously,
of course,
of hackers.
Are these all still like? So these are all still young teenagers, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. So he falls in with this little team, and instead of being pickpockets, of course, they're hackers. No. So it's really easy for them to get a little machine like.
Sorry to interrupt. Is this going to be a musical?
Wasn't going to be.
I'm just thinking like of the Oliver Twist that I know. Obviously, the musical. Like you've got to hack a mainframe or two.
That's good. Well, actually, I'm not thinking hacking mainframes.
Okay.
So they're using little things that might look like a calculator or a Star Trek tricorder or something, and they can easily walk up to someone and scan their ring, their microchip.
Scan their micro rings. So.
And they can steal information. But because they themselves either don't have rings, some of them, or they have rings, but they are wanted criminals.
Okay.
They can't subsequently spend the money. It's easy to steal, but it's hard to spend.
I see, okay.
And Oliver is good at pretending to be other people. He's good at spending the money, so he becomes extra useful in the team. And then in the end, he goes on a raid with a bunch of the other hackers on a big job and ends up being injured, but actually taken in by the people they were trying to rob.
Okay.
And they end up sort of taking him in and raising him a little bit, and then the gang kind of finds him again. And then we got a bunch of adults who are connected to the gang. I had to Google this, but Monks, Fagin, and Bill Sykes are the adults who are kind of connected to this, a whole bunch of criminal underworld.
Yeah, remember that.
And they conspire to try and ruin Oliver, but they discover that the ring had some extra information on it showing who his parents really were.
Right, okay.
Something that none of the other guys had because they never knew their parents. And in the original story, it was a finger ring that he owned that had been his mother's.
Yes.
So that's where the microchip being a ring was.
So this is Oliver's
from.
real parentage is now going to be revealed.
Exactly. But he ends up being saved by the kindly people who took him in the first place. And just like the original novel, all the adult characters end up dead. And he ends up, and presumably the more vicious ones end up hanged by the local constabulary.
They're still hanging on space stations. And...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, except they just hang them out of the window.
Oh, okay, great. Just like throw them out the airlock, yeah.
Yeah, they throw them out the airlock, but on a rope.
Oh, great, nice.
I feel like that's quite a good scene that could work.
Sounds grotesque.
And yeah, then he sort of ends up in a series of adventures around that. He ends up with the kindly family who did kind of injure him and then tried to raise him, and works out, and because of the details that they find in his ring, they can reconnect him with some of his family.
Sure, great.
And he's sort of adopted, and it's a sort of happy ending for him.
Oh, nice, okay.
So there we go.
That's
what I was going
Oliver
for.
Twist put in space. Okay, yeah. I like it. Are you going to have Nancy? That's the only character you didn't mention.
Yeah, I forgot who Nancy was.
She's Bill Sykes' girlfriend. The one who goes, as long as he needs me, and then gets beaten to death in that horrific scene. Right?
That's right. Well, maybe she is... Well, Bill Sykes presumably beats her to death, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's obviously what gets him killed.
Sure, yeah.
So that crime. And yeah, let's have her be someone connected to Oliver. Maybe takes him in.
Maybe she's like an android.
Oh, I like that. She could be a robot.
Yeah, she's a robot who's devotedly loyal because she's programmed to be loyal to Bill Sykes, even though he's a big bastard.
Yes. So could Oliver reprogram her? Like he can hack her and reprogram her?
Yeah, she overrides her programming because she falls in love with this cute little street urchin in space. And maybe, but she can never truly betray her love, so she lets Oliver escape, but then her programming won't let her go with him, so then she's trilling in her robotic voice, as long as he needs me, beep, 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 beep. And then she gets beaten. She gets
Beaten to bits.
her metal brains bashed out by evil Bill Sykes, and it's horrible.
I mean, Bill Sykes could also be a robot, maybe?
I think it's sadder if he's not and she is.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I certainly don't see this as a Blade Runner-y future. Like,
Sure,
the robots look like robots.
Yeah, I was thinking of like the Jetsons, like
Jetsons robots rather than like replicants.
Definitely, yeah.
Any thoughts or questions or ways we can space this up a little bit more?
Could you put Alfred Woodard in it?
That's a good point. Maybe she could play.
She could play a robot. She could be robot Nancy.
She could be robot Nancy. Yeah. There you go. Alfred Woodard is hereby in this film now.
Yes. No, I like that. I like the idea of more classic literature being rebranded but in space.
Yeah. I mean, I mentioned this earlier today as well. Disney was good at this. I feel like the Muppets are good at this, and this is my attempt at doing a non-comedic version of what Scrooged did to Christmas Carol. I kind of had to go for Oliver Twist because of all the ones of Dickens I know. That's the only one I even know at all.
Yeah, Muppet Oliver Twist. That should happen.
Yeah, I did read. I did read Great
Two
Expectations.
things I really don't like: Charles Dickens.
You don't like any Charles Dickens?
It's just so boring
It
and
really
dull.
is. I read Great Expectations, and I tell you, it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be.
Oh, very good, very good.
Actually, it did suck.
Really?
I found it very dull.
I've seen it on stage. It was good.
Speaking of boring and dull.
Anyway,
theatre in general.
I think that's my idea wrapped up then. Unless you guys have any additions.
No, I think I like it. Yeah,
that was good. I liked it.
Thank you.
I approve. I think that could work. Okay, shall I get to mine?
Please do.
Okay, so mine is set in the future and it's a porn. I'm kidding. No, mine is a direct sequel.
Okay.
It's set 30 years after the original. Because this film came out in 1988, I believe, so that tracks.
So today.
Basically, it's set today, yeah. And it still stars Bill Murray as Frank Cross, is the character's name.
Ooh.
So we pick up 30-something years later, and Frank has, changed...
30 years and 4 days.
Okay, cool. 30 years and 4 days.
Puts us on Christmas Eve.
Cool, okay, yeah. Well, not necessarily. Oh, yeah, no, actually, you're right, it is. Most of this takes place on Christmas Eve. But maybe there's a bit of prologue. So, Frank has changed his ways after being visited by the three ghosts. They had the desired effect. Mm-hmm. He has married Claire, Karen Allen. He has become a better person. He's had a lot of therapy to control his rage issues. And he now specialises in producing Christmas fundraisers and socially responsible television. So,
nice.
Like children in need kind of stuff, telethons and,
I like that.
Yeah, he's just generally become very zen and very good. Anyway, he and Claire have a now adult son who, despite their best efforts, has grown up to be a selfish, spoiled brat. And he's got a horrible, bad for the world job. Maybe he works for an oil company, or maybe he's like a social media influencer for a right-wing website, like Breitbart or something. He's just a terrible, despicable modern
He's just
human
a horrible
being.
bloke.
He's just a horrible, horrible person. I was thinking to play Bill Murray's adult son who's a horrible person. I'm open to suggestions. Jonah Hill?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that works.
Yeah, that works well.
I can see that, yeah. Mm-hmm. Bill Murray's asshole son, Jonah Hill, kind of works. So Bill Murray's obviously getting a bit older now. He's pushing 70. And he's worried, as he looks into the twilight of his years, he's worried that his son might never be offered the chance to change his ways in the way that he did. And consequently, his son might be doomed to an eternity of suffering. And he doesn't want to, pass on before knowing that his son has a chance to be better, basically. Because he's obviously been through this experience of, being threatened with eternal damnation. So, given that an actual Christmas miracle doesn't appear to be on the horizon for his son, he decides to call in some favours and fake one. Because he works in television, so this will be very easy. So he calls in some favours at the TV studio to basically fake an entire Christmas Carol scenario around his son, to kind of scare his son into being a nicer, more considerate human being. So obviously this is going to involve finding some actors who can play the ghosts of Christmas past, present and future. Mm-hmm. So I was thinking, first up, Ghost of Christmas Past, Steve Buscemi.
Yes. I like that. We always cast Steve Buscemi, don't we?
We do, but...
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking of the guy from Scrooged, the taxi driver. Mm-hmm. kind of scary.
That translates well.
Kind of scary looking. And it's not going to be an exact like-for-like match, but I was just thinking, like...
I mean, if you want an exact like-for-like match...
So are they playing vaguely the same characters then?
No, that's something. I'm just somebody who could play Christmas Past. So.
I mean, if you want a like-for-like match, get Benicio
del Toro. Yeah, exactly. But that's too much like-for-like. It's almost like there's nothing you can go do with that. It's just he'll be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking like someone like Steve Buscemi who's like,
Does Frank Cross get actual Steve Buscemi?
No,
Steve Buscemi playing Steve Buscemi in this film?
Maybe, yeah.
He gets the actual actor.
Yeah,
Steve
why not?
Buscemi.
Why not? Sure, yeah.
So then we get a few sort of looking to stage left, just at the end of a sentence.
Yeah. Oh, he's got to be.
As in just like he's doing this, but he's clearly just doing it for a job, and he's just like, "Am I doing all right?"
Yeah, exactly. Bill Murray's directing this whole thing off stage, so yeah, he obviously can't actually take his son back in time.
Mm-hmm.
So instead, he has to hire a bunch of young actors. I'm pitching that Bill Murray hires the cast of Stranger Things to play his son's childhood self and all of his friends.
Oh yeah, sure.
Nice. So I don't know, maybe the gappy-toothed one can play young Jonah Hill, and then the other ones are just like his friends. And so obviously, basically, they're going to kidnap Jonah Hill and do this whole production, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe Jonah Hill's going to be like, that doesn't look anything like me. I don't remember this at all.
Yeah.
I am the ghost of your past. Like it's all going to be very like amdram and silly.
Yeah.
Also, he doesn't know much about his son's childhood, because his son had his own life going on. So it involves a lot of guesswork. So all of these are things that didn't... So he's like, you had a love interest, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, not really. I don't remember this girl at all. Like, it's just going to be nonsense, basically.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, so that doesn't work out very well.
Mm-hmm.
Jonah Hill is unconvinced. So then it gets to the Ghost of Christmas Presents.
Donald Glover.
For presents.
Yes.
I've gone in a different direction, but I like the idea. My idea was that for Christmas present, he hires a respected stage actress who's going to be played by Meryl Streep.
Yes, I kind of thought you were going to go that way, but
yeah. Okay. Why Donald Glover?
I like his crazy.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. If you want to do like a Carol Kane thing, of being like, wake up, man, that could work. I was just thinking the reason I cast Meryl Streep is I was thinking you could have like a very pretentious Ghost of Christmas Present, like a very stagey, very actressy, who's like, but what's my motivation to
I like
Bill
that.
Murray, and he'll be like, your Christmas. Your motivation is your Christmas, right? And he'll just...
I like that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And again, he has to rope in all of Frank Jr.'s current... Jonah Hill's character is called Frank Jr. Rope in all of his current friends and family to kind of play along. With a lot of them are not happy about this situation at all, but they just... Bill Murray threatens them and bribes them to basically play along. To create some dramatic present-day scenes of them pretending that they don't even like him, that they've always hated him, that he's ruining their lives, etc. Some girl has to play the one that got away, and again, Jonah Hill's going to be like, I don't even know who she is. And again, he's just not going to buy into it whatsoever. It's not going to work out. So, last throw of the dice, he needs to cast a Ghost of Christmas Future, of Christmas yet to come. The only person he can get, there are no actors available left. So instead, he hires a terrified intern who works at the production company, who's going to be played by Michael Cera.
Sure.
I was thinking of someone like nerdy and not threatening at all.
Yeah, that's his bag.
Like, he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't want to do it. But Bill Murray's like, look, just get in the suit. So they just put Michael Cera in the full, deaf suit, which I think would be pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put the hood over you. Just don't show your face. Just do this. Do a bit of whoa. Be scary. And he really goes all out on this one because he knows this is his last chance. So he fully has to fake his own son's death. So he hires out a crematorium. He gets a coffin, fills it with cinder blocks, convinces a bunch of fake mourners, all the friends and family to come together and stand around the coffin and say horrible things about him. And then obviously Michael Cera kind of leads Jonah Hill in, who's been drugged or something. Yeah, he's like, look at your future, woo! And then Jonah Hill's going to be crying and horrified and scared. And then just when it looks like it might work, the wife, the Karen Allen character, is going to run in and be like to Bill Murray, Frank, this is sick. What the hell do you think you're doing? Like, and she's just going to be like, I want no part of this. You can't fake our son's death. This is disgusting. And then it all comes out into the open. Bill Murray has to confess everything, and he tearfully confesses to his son that he's gone through all of this just because he wants him to be a better person. And Jonah Hill is very moved. He's like, Dad, if me being a better person means so much to you that you would fake my own death and hire half of Hollywood to play Christmas ghosts, then I'm going to try and be a better person, and it'll be a Christmas miracle. And then credits roll. That's about
Okay.
I like it.
Not
Yeah.
my best. But
It's something.
yeah.
I like it. Does Jonah Hill give a dramatic speech down camera about how to be a better person?
Yeah, there might be like a long 15-minute insane monologue. Yeah, I don't know.
He kisses a random woman.
Probably there's going to be some sexual assault. There's going to be a...
Bill Murray shouts at him, seriously, it was not good for me. Your mum was mad at me for like 4 years after that.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah, in fact, maybe Jonah Hill does a very tearful speech. He's like, I love your dad, I love your son. They hug. He's like, I'm going to be a better person, I promise. Credits roll, some lovely Christmas song plays, and then over the credits you just see Jonah Hill banging prostitutes, snorting coke, just like not living. He's immediately gone straight back.
It's been a family appropriate film up until the credits,
Yes.
and then it's just
goes
18
straight back to
rated.
just being a dick. Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
Does this film establish whether or not Bill Murray's character was genuinely seeing magic spirits or was just going crazy?
I think he genuinely thinks he did. Whether or not he did or not is up to interpretation. But
that's fair.
The fact that it's not happening for his son makes him freak out, and he decides he just has to fake it because he can't.
I like that.
Gamble on. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to give my son the second chance I got. But
Yes.
I'm not relying on spiritual means.
Yeah. So he tries to do it himself with disastrous results.
Yes. This does give your Frank Cross character the actual redemption that you were so skeptical of.
Yes, true. In this version, he's genuinely been a better person, so I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. Yeah.
Nice. I have enjoyed that very much.
Good.
Very nice.
Cool. Any other questions before we get to listener submissions?
No, let's do it.
Well, go ahead. Do you have any this week?
Okay, so firstly, I'd probably be in trouble if I didn't say Phil Better has been in touch on every single post we've put out
Yes,
about this.
also on mine.
Yeah.
It's been on the Two Geeks, Two Movies Instagram when I posted
At what
about
point
this.
does a listener become a stalker?
I don't know, but Phil Better is very, very adamant that we do not picture any sequels to this.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Phil, but we've ignored you and we've done it.
He did say on my Instagram, thanks Phil, don't make this, I think, rather than don't pitch this. But if he said don't pitch this on yours, then...
He said stop trying to make a sequel to this classic,
yeah.
it won't happen, and many other versions of which have multiple different strengths of language.
Right.
Fair enough, he's very adamant, isn't he?
He does not want any of this, so he has not contributed at all. I've told him it's bad content, and he has ignored me.
Fair enough.
So thank you,
I
Phil.
think that was the extent of the ideas I gave you guys for A Knight's Tale as well, which was please don't.
However, there have been a few others. So we've got Aaron Spite. I think I'm saying your surname correctly. I apologise if I'm not. Bill Murray's character Frank, after being visited by ghosts, decides to leave the movie business and focus his life on fighting and containing the ghosts that he knows are real. He changes his name to Peter Venkman and becomes a scientist. Then he teams up with two other scientists to seek his revenge. Call it something like Ghostbusters. It may sound familiar, but I'm certain that nothing like it exists.
Terrible idea, never work.
No. I like the idea of Bill Murray's character getting his revenge on the Ghost of Christmas Present, though, and just sucking up Carol Kane in a...
Yep, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Scott Gerrard says that Bill Murray becomes a weather reporter after the events of the movie, and one winter he winds up being stuck in another time travel mishap when he's forced to live the same day over and over until he relearns some of the lessons he learned in Scrooged and becomes a better person.
No, that'll never work either.
No,
Sounds like
I
a terrible
can't see
idea
that.
for a film.
Again, guys, come on, these are awful ideas.
Yeah.
And finally, from my list, I've got Aaron Mitten has said, everything that was prophesied by the Ghost of Christmas Future comes true. Confused, Frank finds out it was the devil that took him through all those scenarios, past, present, and future. The devil needed him to change in order to set in effect a chain of events that would lead to the kid being institutionalized, because the kid was supposed to be the one that stopped the devil from reigning on Earth.
The kid being the little Tiny Tim figure.
Yeah, I guess.
He was supposed to be institutionalized.
Does that mean he was institutionalized in the...
Yeah, I think so.
He was in one of the flash forwards, but he tried to prevent that by getting his mama raised.
Oh, I see. So the kid was like the Damien from The Omen. So the kid was actually the son of the devil or something, and him getting institutionalized saved the world from the devil.
I think so.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I get it now. Okay.
So the devil was trying to prevent the kid from being institutionalized.
Okay, right. Got
So
it. Got
before Cross dies, before Frank dies, as was prophesied, he has to fix everything back to the way it was, which means that the cremation scene still happens, but Frank dies a hero at the end.
Yikes.
Dark.
He gets burned to death alive.
Yes.
Horrifying. Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Okay, is that all yours? Mm-hmm. Okay, I have a few as well. Matt Hanley said Scrooge 2.
Is that it?
Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It's a traditional answer every week. Sequel to this film, he just says that film's title 2. I guess it's Yeah.
Fair enough.
Mike Carey said, Scrooged in translation. Frank travels to Japan after his transformation, where he befriends the lonely wife of a photographer. So now I can't see that working either. Terrible idea.
No, it would never work. It's never going to make millions.
I see no Oscars in that scenario. Jeff Walker said, remake it with John Hamm. I can see that, like a modern remake with John Hamm from Mad Men. Yeah.
That would work. Yeah, the Mad Men.
He'd be a good. He's got a Bill Murray quality.
You could certainly make it more advertising guy than TV guy as well.
100%. Yeah.
That would work.
Stuart Jipp said, Moulin Scrooged, a musical.
Moulin Scrooged.
Right, yeah.
Very good. Brian Lynch said, remake it with Joel McHale from Community.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff from Community. Which made me think, actually, just remake the entire film, but it's Community. So if Joel McHale, if Jeff is Scrooge.
Mm-hmm. Tiny Tim's got to be Donald Glover.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, he looks best as a child.
He does, yes.
Christmas present?
Alison Brie, surely.
Oh,
Britta's a
the
bit
Dean?
more
I
bonkers.
was going to say Britta, maybe.
Yeah, Britta's a bit more bonkers. Then Alison Brie can be the
But
secretary.
the Dean loves a costume.
Oh,
I could
that's
see the
true.
Dean in like a
Yes.
full fairy like look.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
Dean.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, who else we got then? Christmas past? Maybe that could be Britta, I think.
Yeah, that could work.
So who's Bob Cratchit?
left?
Is Bob Cratchit?
That's going to be Abed.
Okay. Maybe Alison Brie can be Jacob Marley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'd be good because she could do the whole kind of like whoa. She's very theatrical like that. So,
Yeah. But then maybe afterwards get a bit neurotic about it.
Yes.
Whoa! Was that scary enough?
Yeah. Oh, we haven't cast Yvette Nicole Brown.
Oh, yeah. Wait, who's the guy that Scrooge works with?
Marley. I just
Marley.
said that's Alison Brie playing. Maybe they both could because they're like pals, aren't they?
Yeah.
Maybe we'd have a Marley and Marley situation.
Yes.
You've got Alison Brie and Yvette Nicole Brown are the two.
As long as they argue.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Also, can the phrase "Ghost of Dean must present" turn up at some
Oh,
point?
of course, absolutely, yes. Great. So thank you very much for that, Brian Lynch. Jose Martinez said "Tooged." I think you said that, didn't you?
I think I said "Tooged" already.
Walt Williams said "The Muppet Scrooged." Derek Martz said Frank Cross, Bill Murray, dies a peaceful, natural death and becomes the new ghost of Christmas past and or present, showing a miserly character played by Paul F. Tompkins the error of his ways.
Like that.
Paul F. Tompkins is the actor who does the voice of Mr. Peanut Butter in BoJack Horseman,
Yep.
among other things. David Rollinson said retroactively unmake the original. So I guess he doesn't like this film at all.
Oh no!
And I think that's all of them.
Not one of
Could
Phil
you do a
Becker's friends,
sequel
clearly.
which could retroactively unmake the original? Could you make a sequel that was so opposite this, like a kind of anti-film, that could make
Maybe,
the
yeah.
other one be wiped from someone's memory?
I was thinking, could you make a sequel of this that unmakes Justice League from being a movie, and then we can just do that again?
Yeah, that'd be good.
If we can just unmake movies now?
Could we unmake all of the DC films and have another go at it?
That feels like a different podcast, guys.
Well said.
And those are the listener submissions that I got. So thank you very much, guys. Those were our listener submissions for Scrooged. If you have any sequel ideas for Scrooged, or any films we've done in the past, or any films we might do in the future, please let us know. We are Beyond the Box Set. You can find us at beyondtheboxset.com. Our podcast is available on all good podcasting platforms, including iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, and Acast, and many more. Just search Beyond the Box Set. You can also find us on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Beyond the Box Set, and we have merchandise available at TeePublic. And that wraps up Christmas.
It does. So that's
Nice pun. Well done. I like that.
Wraps up Christmas, yeah. Actually,
I just wanted to move past it, really.
I genuinely, it was an accident. Like,
I wanted to acknowledge and enjoy it.
Great. Well, I'm glad you're here, Ross.
yeah.
Thank you for coming on. Anything you want to plug quickly before I tell you to get lost?
Listen to 2 Geeks, 2 Movies, please, and hire me as a juggler, please.
Sure.
Yes, both good things. Both will have links in the description.
Yes.
Cool. Yes. So, well, we've got one more episode this year, I guess, which is going to be our 2018 wrap-up. We're going to talk about every film that me and John have seen in the cinema this year, which is, I don't know, vaguely 50 films, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. I'm not too sure. We're going to go quite quickly through them. We're going to rank each one, see if our rankings match up to our initial rankings when we went through them at the time. And we're also going to do a very quick, off-the-cuff sequel pitch to each film,
Yeah.
which will be interesting when it comes to films like Avengers Infinity War, where it's...
Kind of part
Yeah.
of a huge franchise, yeah.
But then when it comes to things like...
I'm sure we can do better than the Russo brothers.
The Bad Times at the El Royale,
Yeah.
that's going to be a good time. Or a bad time at the El Royale. I don't know.
A good time at Beyond the Box Set.
One of those. Anyway, that could have all gone smoother. So, yeah, we'll do a 2018 wrap-up, and then we'll be back in the new year for a new episode 98, I believe it is. So, We're getting very close to our 100th episode live.
We are. It's exciting.
Don't forget
and scary.
that. Go to beyondthebox.com/live. See if you want to come. It is going to be a great time. We're going to do E.T. Have you seen E.T., Ross?
I have seen E.T. I might rewatch it in preparation for this because I'm going to be there in the pub as well.
Excellent.
That's the plan, anyway.
Good stuff. Great.
So yeah, we had at the back room of our local pub, and we're going to be doing a live episode where we're going to pitch sequels, prequels, and spin-offs to E.T. And it's going to be embarrassing, I imagine. That's probably what's going to happen.
What is it with that attitude? I have high hopes. I'm excited.
Yes. Anyway, should I say what the next regular episode is?
Yeah, if you've got one planned, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I was thinking of starting a new tradition, which, to start a new tradition, you need to have already done it at least once, and we have. The first film that we did last year was WALL-E, so I've now decided that tradition is going to be the first film of the year is always going to be a Pixar film.
Oh, okay. Great. Which one are we doing?
We're going to be doing Inside Out.
Oh, yeah, I love that film.
It's going to be so good.
That is one of my favourites.
I love that film. So I've already done something of a sequel to that.
Have you? Oh, you built it into like Inception or something.
Inception, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one.
I'm excited. I've not revisited that film for a while.
No, I've only seen it the once, and it was quite soon after it came out. I remember really enjoying it.
It's a great film.
I cannot wait to get back to that.
Cool.
So, join us next week for the 2018 wrap-up, and then I think a week later for Inside Out, and then 2 weeks later for E.T. Live, which I'm not panicking about. It's fine.
It'll be good. It'll be great. Just don't listen to him. Cool. Okay. Well, thanks a lot. Thank you, Ross, for joining us again.
Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. Sure, this won't be the last time. And
Probably not.
No. And thanks, guys. Bye.
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 That bitch hit me with a toaster.